Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we are going over 10 predictions for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
After both trailers, fan excitement exploded with various theories about Link's next adventure. So for this list, we scoured the internet to bring you what we think are the most interesting prospects. Also, spoilers for Breath of the Wild and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity lie ahead. Which of these predictions do you hope is true? Let us know in the comments below. Get ready to time travel. Time travel has played a part in several Zelda games, from jumping forward 7 years in Ocarina of Time to jumping back untold centuries in Skyward Sword. So it wouldn't be surprising if Nintendo used it for another entry. It could just be used as a gameplay mechanic. In the E3 2021 trailer, Link is seen manipulating time to reverse a giant spiked ball that's rolling towards him. Another ability looks to let Link use water in some way to reverse fall as a droplet up to a higher location. However, certain shots show a character who looks like Link, though we never see his face, in a different garb that resembles the hero of long ago. And this has led many fans to believe we'll be playing as that hero in certain sections.
And when the hero wielding the sword that seals the darkness delivered his final blow.
The Return of Astor. If you haven't played Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, it's a great alternate retelling of the events that take place 100 years prior to Breath of the Wild. Astor, the game's sorcerer villain, works hard to destroy Hyrule but is absorbed by Harbinger Ganon to become the humanoid Calamity Ganon. While not proven, Age of Calamity feels like a somewhat canon what-if scenario. If that's true, Astor would then have to exist in Breath of the Wild's timeline, and some fans have begun speculating that he'll play a part in the upcoming sequel. Perhaps he's just been biding his time, waiting for the opportunity to strike.
The princess and the hero fought alongside these 4 champions against this ancient evil.
Revisiting Skyloft. Well, maybe not Skyloft exactly. Since the E3 2021 trailer, it has become increasingly obvious that the sequel will connect to Skyward Sword. Link is shown falling through the sky, replicating shots from the 2011 entry where he'd descend to the surface area below. He's also shown exploring floating islands in the sky, so the gameplay and lore will connect at the very least. But there are also other elements that point towards a connection. The release of Skyward Sword HD on Switch seems like Nintendo wants everyone caught up on that game's events. And an Easter egg side quest in the first game, where a girl named Shamay speaks of sky people and riding giant birds, now seems like much more than an Easter egg. Loft Wings. If you're bringing back islands in the sky, why not bring back the way to travel between them? In Skyward Sword, Link rode a crimson Loftwing above the clouds. Naturally, as the destined hero, his Loftwing was one of a kind. The game states that every Skyloft citizen is paired with one Loftwing. But within a different era, Breath of the Wild 2 could feature flocks with varying stats, similar to wild horses in the first game. Maybe the rare Crimson Loftwing could be a side quest like the Royal White Stallion. Some have taken this prediction a bit further, guessing that Skyward Sword's Zelda amiibo will let players ride on the princess's blue Loftwing. Regardless, we'd love to see the winged mounts return. More dungeons. More of a hope than a prediction, many fans are betting we'll get the return of more traditional dungeons in the upcoming game. Breath of the Wild changed things up with more than 100 bite-sized shrines over dungeons and temples of previous games. Even its divine beasts, while bigger than shrines, weren't navigated or beaten in the conventional way. The sequel will take place in the same Hyrule as the first game, so it isn't as if Nintendo can just place dungeons in the overworld. However, the floating islands in the sky and the deep caves seen in the trailers would be perfect spots to include them. Dungeons are some of the most memorable aspects of previous games, so seeing them return would be a treat. Link will lose an arm. Despite coming face to face with deadly monsters and sorcerers, Link usually makes it out of each adventure unscathed. This theory puts an end to that. In the E3 2019 reveal trailer, Link's right arm shines bright with strange green energy. In the follow-up trailer, there's a shot of it being consumed by malice, and another of it glowing green. When glowing, it looks nearly identical to the mystical arm Link and Zelda find clutching the mummified corpse underneath Hyrule Castle. This has led many to speculate that this ghostly arm will either possess or outright replace Link's right arm, and fans have pointed to certain concept artwork from the first game as evidence that Link will lose it. The Zonai Tribe. The world of Breath of the Wild is packed with lore, enhancing its focus on exploration and discovery. One of its most interesting bits concerns the Zonai Tribe, an ancient group of barbarians that are referenced through ruins and the barbarian armor set. Not much is known about the tribe, though that may be about to change. The underground ruins in the E3 2019 trailer look remarkably similar to ruins found in the first game. Several fan theories suggest that through the sequel's time travel, we'll learn more about the Lost Tribe and how they play into Hyrule's history. Perhaps the ancient tribe's magic will serve as explanation to Link's new abilities. Ganon might be a protagonist. This theory goes back to the quote-unquote Link, whose face we don't see in certain sections of the E3 2021 trailer. While it could mean we're playing as the hero of long ago, that doesn't necessarily mean that hero is Link. The character does heavily resemble the hero seen in the tapestry, but the tapestry depicts him with red hair. And you know who else has red hair? Ganondorf. Additionally, the mummified remains that Zelda and Link see in the first trailer, who everyone assumes is Ganondorf, wears a similar one-shouldered tunic. Many fans and outlets like Kinda Funny Games see this as evidence that we could play as Ganondorf as a series first. It would certainly make for an interesting twist. The arm is the companion. This one comes to us from Commonwealth Realm, and, if true, could give a more concrete link between past and present. No pun intended. The theory states that the glowing green hand seen holding Ganondorf in place belongs to the hero of 10,000 years before the events of Breath of the Wild. Link's arm is definitely getting imbued with the same magic, but it could go one step further and actually communicate with Link in some way. Another traditional Zelda element not seen in Breath of the Wild was a companion. A spirit always attached to Link could make for an interesting one, but could also give insight into Hyrule's history. Zelda, playable or not?
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Breath of the Wild was made to freshen up the Zelda formula after complaints surrounding Skyward Sword. So why not stick with that approach and give fans what they've been asking for? Let Zelda step out of the damsel role and let us play as her. Many fans, myself included, believe the shot of her falling in the second trailer is a misdirect. And I certainly hope that's the case since we already had to save her in the first game. Some believe we'll play as Zelda in underground sections and as Link in the overworld. Hyrule Warriors showed her magic makes her an excellent fighter, though it could also be used for new puzzles. As the franchise's namesake, it's time for the princess to play a more prominent role.
What's with the glum face, princess? Give me a big smile.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.